I am a little curious now for my next part of this question, kind of get a little bit more, so to speak, behind the scenes. So I really, really enjoy this question because every organization gives me such great different answers. Let's start with Steph on this side, and we'll end over here with Sasha here. Now, for those of us, we don't get to see behind the curtain. We don't get to see all the nitty-gritty work that gets done. I am so curious. What is part of the job, whether it be with Max Walker or for Max's Coats for Kids? What's part of that job that you feel just never gets that spotlight or attention that it really should?
So it's for Max Walker.
Love that.
And it's our people. It's how hard they work.
Yeah.
I have the privilege of reading every single piece of feedback that comes through from our customers. Fortunately, basically, it's all good.
I was going to say, it looked all phenomenal on my end.
And so I hear pretty much every day how great a CSR is, how they go above and beyond. And that's true. That's part of our culture. We're proud of that culture of exceptional customer service. But for every person on the counter who's face-to-face interacting with our customers, there's a handful of people at the back of the house who are working really hard, removing stains from your clothes, dry cleaning, pressing, touching up, inspecting, assembling our customer orders. A great deal of time and resources and care is really put into every garment that we process. And there are many hands that touch everything that comes through. And that is what ensures such a high quality outcome for our customers. And I really think that the average person does not realize that about their dry cleaner. Yeah,
I think you're probably nail on the head right there, because I think about it as you were kind of talking. I'm sitting here going, I kind of have the idea of what a dry cleaner does. I don't know how they actually implement it or what really goes into it. So yeah, I think you hit it right on the head there. That shout outs to all of the amazing Max Walker employees out there.
And it's hot back there.
Yeah.
Because those machines put off heat. Those people, props to those people, because they work in the heat and they are champs.
Yeah, I was told it's similar to a newspaper room.
Oh yeah,
if you're familiar with those, yep. I did a little stint in newspaper along my radio journey, and a little toasty behind those machines there. Yeah. Sasha, same question for you. What's part of this job, or I guess if you can call it a job for you, what is part of this organization for Project Intentional that you feel just doesn't get that spotlight or attention that it really should?
We have outstanding support. I can't ask for anything more, and then when I don't, we get surprised with even the next cool thing. So
you'll have an army of people who will do anything for you.
For us, it's nuts. And
for
so
the organization.
I'm just really excited to see where it's going. I was recently at the Thor event with Free Bikes for Kids, and to listen to the history that those guys started with shovels 30 years ago, and to see the same guys just enjoying life in our backyard, creating playgrounds for our kids. And I just think about it and I go, that's going to be us someday. And when people come to our city and they say, how did you guys do it? It'll be so easy because we'll be together.
Yep. And you'll say, hey, those first 3 years, a little bit on fire, but I'm just kidding. It's always how everything
COVID,
is.
So I can't blame it on COVID.
Exactly. COVID lit everything on fire, so it was always putting them out. No, I do love that too, and I could maybe potentially even add to that by saying I could hold up a mirror, and maybe that could be a big part of maybe what people don't see behind the scenes, because just from the passion from question 1 to now, it's exuded in every answer that you're giving. So I think I could hold that mirror up and say that's probably a big part of this spotlight that needs to be on there, because the organization can't run without the passion, and it can't run without the person who drives that passion. Now, you have the army of people that'll do anything for you, but it's true.
It's contagious, though.
Yeah, it is. It's contagious. I don't mean to break you down any, but I think that, from my opinion, would be my answer to that question on that.
It's so beautiful. Thank you.
Of course.
Just, again, we are the vessel. It's pretty wonderful.
And you know what? I'm just the vessel on the end of this microphone, just helping you along here. Do love this next one here, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows, unfortunately, in the nonprofit world. I wish it was. It'd be a lot easier if it was. But what have been some of those challenges or obstacles that you've had to overcome for your organization, or those that you serve? And Sasha, we'll start with you, and then we'll kind of do a dual part for Max Walker on your end.
Sure.
Yeah, right now it's just funding.
Yeah.
And that's going to be across the board for all nonprofits. That's a constant struggle. And one thing that I love about our nonprofit is that it's just one person really leading the tribe, and because of that, all of the money that we acquire goes right back out to the city again. Like I've mentioned and hinted at, we are really taking a step back and being very intentional. I even want the money that we receive to go directly back to our city. Like when they look at us, it's just a huge life cycle. And so with the funding, it is difficult, but I know that people will eventually see the bigger picture and that they trust us to guide it and use it properly.
Yeah, 100% think they will as well. Steph, same question for you. I guess it's kind of a die question here for you, since you have both the Max's Coats for Kids on this side of things and the Max I Walker organization. Just out of curiosity, I know it hasn't officially launched yet. Here, spoiler alerts, it might be the day this episode drops. You can go find the Coats for Kids drives and go be able to donate there. But obviously, you got to set all that up and you have to get those wheels in motion. So maybe more in that sense, what's maybe some of those challenges you've had to overcome for that organization?
Honestly, I think a big challenge was the decision to discontinue what we previously had done for 15 years. That was a hard choice for the family. In our biggest year, we had 3,000 prom dresses available. Wow. And in one day, in 6 hours, we raised $20,000 for the Alzheimer's Association.
Wow.
Nebraska. That was a little difficult to walk away from, but we are a small business. We are family owned. We have a very small staff, and everyone's busy. And so it just became logistically difficult to manage an inventory of that size.
Sure.
And clean that many elaborate gowns. And so that was really challenging. And frankly, compared to that, the coat drive has been a piece of cake so far.
It's a breeze.
Yeah, I mean, it's and I think that I kind of designed it that way to make sure that we get the most impact for the least amount of disruption. Because, like I said, we're busy, everyone's busy, but we still want to do something. We don't want to close up shop on the prom dress boutique and then just stop giving back.
Right.
So, like I said earlier, another clothing related project makes sense. And this is just logistically simple for us, but it's going to make a huge impact. So the juice is really going to be worth the squeeze this time.
Yeah.
And then personally, so technically, my title with Max I Walker is marketing director. I've been the marketing director for over 8 years now. But, my position has really morphed into a lot of customer relations and then a lot of internal communications. And marketing is actually really a pretty small part of what I do.
So you're like marketing and HR now.
Yeah. So I kind of have come to serve like as the liaison between our customers and our employees. And then I've kind of adopted the employees as my customers. What can I provide to you that helps you do your job better, that makes your job easier, that provides you with what tools you need to communicate to customers? Some of the stuff we do is a little complicated. And so I have adopted our employees as my customers so that they can serve their customers. That's a lot different than anything I've ever done before from my previous professional experience. And it was a little bit outside of my comfort zone at first. But I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way now.
I was going to say, what a great attitude to have to it, too, and like a good mindset of like, I'm going to make my employees my customers. How can I fix that problem? Because I think a lot of times when people fit into a management role, sometimes that growing pain when the role expands, because it always will, as that role starts to grow, they kind of have that growing pain of they're not comfortable to do something. They don't quite know how to assess the situation. But that's a really healthy attitude to have to it. Is treating your employees like they were the customer as well, just so they can be best set up for success. I love that.
Problems and solve them.
I love that.
That's quality leadership.
That is. We've had a couple leadership programs on the show before. I think they could all pretty much go, that right there, just gold star, highlight it,
Exactly. It's leadership.
Yeah, it really does come down to that, because that's how you build that team that will follow you to the end.
Yeah.
Now, into one of my final questions here. I know I'm running out of questions here, but I do love when I get answers on this question. What has been one of the best moments that Project Intentional and, of course, on your side, Max I Walker, have been able to give to each of you?
My favorite thing is that I get to throw a party for my city. And I hug almost every person that goes through there.
She does.
Which means that I
She's
get
a
to
good hugger.
hug
She's a good hugger.
a ton of people
That
in
means
my city.
you hated COVID then.
I did not do
I
well.
hated COVID too.
I did not do well, which is I got deconditioned, which is how I got into here anyway. COVID really shook us up, all of us, and I think one of the biggest blessings for me and that I've seen with this nonprofit is that we are so hands-on. It doesn't matter if you are getting or you are giving, you want to be there. Like, it is something so magical where we just take Baxter Arena and flip it on its side. Even the people at Baxter Arena wrote us and said, we've never had a group that has worked and had such a positive attitude like you guys. And I mean, you go in there and you have 18 hours to completely transform the place, and they do it. And to be able to say that I throw parties for my city for a living is just so cool.
I agree. I mean, you are the party liaison of Omaha at this point. No, I love that, and I think that is such a really cool highlight. Steph, same question for Max I. Walker. What's been one of those just best moments that has really stuck with you throughout the years?
I mean, like I mentioned, Max I. Walker is a family-owned company. I work for the 4th and the 5th generations. And Rob Walker III is the current president and owner, and his 2 sons, Chris and Casey, will take over the business when Rob decides that he's ready to fully retire. And I am not their family. I am not related to the Walkers. But every day I am treated like family, and they treat everyone like they're part of their family. They give those people the same care and consideration that they do their own family members. They treat employees as a whole person. And I've never worked anywhere like this. I've never seen a company that's operated like this. And I just couldn't be more grateful. And then on top of that, when I have an idea, they're like, sure, do it. They come from a place of yes, because they believe in me, and they just are okay with whatever we want to do to give back.
I think that's a great place to be involved with then.
Yeah.
I think that's a very powerful thing to hang on to as well. My final business question, I'll do the business quotes around that. My final business question here for both of you. What is something you want us listeners and viewers to know more about when it either comes to Project Intentional or Max I. Walker, or just about your industries respectively?
I believe that we were all intentionally placed in Omaha for a reason. I think that this is a hub of love. And when I look at the body, and let's say that you're out in the cold, the blood starts to just go back into the central organs. Well, there's a reason why we were all placed in the heartland. If we genuinely want to see the change, we have to be the change. We are the heart of America, and what we do in this city will ripple out. And I think that is really just what I have come to, is that we are finding like-minded people. We're holding hands together, and we just say we see you, and I can't wait to see what you do next, and I love supporting you.
Yeah, I love that. And obviously, same question over to you. What's something you want us to know more about or support more when it comes to either Max I. Walker or your industry?
So I think it's got to be what I previously had said about our back of the house people. Our team works incredibly hard, and they take so much pride in their work.
I do love that. Now, that does the business questions. They're all done. Kibosh, they are done. Now we can have a little fun on the show. I say that because if you weren't having fun already, check your pulse. I just tease. But no, since there's a good chunk of us here in this room, usually I only have one person across from me, so I only tell them, hey, pull 3 cards. I figured today, since we have special 2-on-1 situation here, you guys can each pull 2 cards, have 4 of us, or you can go 3 each if you like. These cards are all just really fun, random questions. So a friend of the show, Blake Martin with FranNet, I love Blake. I mention him all the time.
He was a judge at the Acton Academy Children's Business Fair.
Yeah.
My son participated.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
He is involved with so much. And again, since you're seeing this, and it'll be on a Friday, actually Friday the 1st, if it airs correctly in my brain, 50 Mile March is about to be underway this month. Blake is looking for donations and all that.
Cool.
Go support him if you know him. My little plug for him. He gifted me these after coming onto the show and said, hey, I really had a great time on the show. I have no idea if you can use these, but if you can, have them for the show.
Cool.
So I like to just have my guests pull, in this case, 2 cards each. And then if they're bad questions, you can pull pull another one. But you can either have like a turn the tables thing to where you're asking me the questions, or we can just have a little banter about all of them.
Beautiful.
Oh.
My first question is, what 3 adjectives would your family use to describe you? Draco would say mama magic. That's it. What other? Loving and energetic.
I like that. What adjectives would my family describe me with? Nicely put, crazy. Fun, wild would probably be the other one.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know it by my bright yellow shirt that I have on today, but I do have quite an affinity for colorful things, and I have quite the collection of Hawaiian shirts. So I get to bust those out every Friday. So that's how they know when episodes are recorded on Friday, is if I'm rocking Hawaiians.
Love it.
So that's our little peek behind the curtain. How about you?
I think that the 3 adjectives that my family would use to describe me would be organized,
Not me. Not me.
obsessed with health,
Okay.
and funny.
I like that. Yeah, I think that fits. Those are obsessed with health. I'm a little curious. Like, are you talking like
Workouts, supplements, gut
Gotcha.
health, brain health. I learn. That's what I spend all my free time doing. Yeah,
It is.
Important.
I spend
It's
all my
super
free time
important.
learning whatever I can about how to keep yourself healthy.
Oh yeah, and I swear in today's world it changes by the day.
have to.
Yep. But it is important. I like that. What do you got for a question?
What have you lost that you'd like to find?
Well, to make a hook joke, my marbles. No, I think if I've lost anything and would like to find it, I really haven't lost much in
My youth.
life. Yeah, I guess my youth, my
That's it.
my non-aching joints. Yeah.
Youth is wasted on the young, though. So.
It so is. Oh my God. It needs to be reversed. They need to like have it Benjamin Button style. The youth are all old and they can't move very well, so we can keep chasing them down.
That's genius. Did you come up with that one yourself? We need to put that one into.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm sure we could get it passed in
Patent.
today's legislation. What about you? Is there any thing that you've lost and wanted to find?
No, that's a very difficult question.
Yeah.
It is. I was thinking at first maybe, my affinity with nature would probably be the closest thing I could say. Because I grew up in Taylor, Nebraska, which is a village. It's in the Sandhills. It's near the Calamus Reservoir, if you know where that's at. It's so scarce of people that there's barely light pollution. You can see the stars. You can see anything. So I think that's maybe if I did have an answer for that, just that nature connection is not as prevalent here. There's still great places I can get out of town. There's still great places to go see. There's something different about being able to just walk down a dirt road and look up into the sky and see whatever you want to see.
Yeah, I can relate to that too. I grew up in Kansas in a small town
sure.
in the middle of nowhere. And we used to, for fun, we would go stand in a field or drive dirt roads and,
Finally, a
dig
woman of
around.
culture.
Yes. And then we lived in Arkansas before we moved here. And Arkansas is a beautiful state with everything outdoor you can imagine. And so, I think that I can relate to that too. I need to be outside.
Yeah, there's just a part of me. My girlfriend drives me nuts sometimes because she's like, it's so hot outside. Why do we have to be outside? I'm like, I just want to sit outside. I just have to be outside. I don't know. Just something with me. And she tries to enjoy it as much as possible. But these hot days as of late.
No one enjoys these.
No, it's
No,
120 degrees outside.
Unfortunately, my lawn needs mowed. And I'm like, "Ugh,
Not today.
not
Lon.
today. Well, you each get one more. Yeah. I'm excited. These are some good questions.
These are.
This side will be questions already asked.
Oh, got it.
So it's all on the
good
inside.
for you. I love that.
Track.
I got to keep it somewhat separate.
Oh, who's the best teacher you've had?
Oh, I'm going to hurt some teachers' feelings with this one.
Yeah.
If we're going high school, I've got to say my high school history teacher, who was also my basketball coach, his name was Jeff Bachman. Love that guy. It was a weird circumstance for him, you could tell. He went to college in Wayne, graduated, and then got his job out in Taylor. So he was still a little fresh into the teaching thing, but that guy made learning fun. He made history exciting to learn, and it was I'm kind of a history nerd anyway, so I gravitate towards it, but he broke things down way better than teachers ever did in our school.
I hope he's still doing it.
I don't know what he's doing exactly now, because I know when I graduated, that was his last year at Taylor. I believe he moved back to his hometown to help with folks' ranch, but I believe he's also still part-time at least. Hopefully he's still teaching.
For sure.
My other honorable mention would be my my English teacher who taught me, well, two of them. One of them passed away, but Mr. Brown was always this kooky, crazy dude and would just do the most obscure impressions. I'm trying to think of the name of the TV show, but it's a British sitcom of some sorts that he was obsessed with. He loved it. And it's called Keeping Up Appearances, if you've ever heard of it. Yeah, and he would always impersonate some of the characters on there.
Could you imagine?
It was so fun in school because he would just break out this random British lady accent, like, "Okay, residence lady of the house speaking," but their name was spelled like bucket. And so he just kind of taught me to be me, and I think that was
important.
It was, and I think that's what led me into radio a little bit as well. Be that quirky, kind of weird, wild a little bit.
Be yourself.
Yeah, and then my college professor for radio taught me everything I know about it and was an awesome guy. So shout outs to Mr. Anderson. But yeah, the other honorable mention in high school would have been Dan Helberg. Don't know where you're at nowadays, Dan, but shout outs to him because he taught me one of my favorite subjects in English, and that is unreliable narrators. That is one of my favorite topics when it comes to the English language.
Interesting.
Because his point in case, like the example he used was Catcher in the Rye. Holden Caulfield is an unreliable narrator because he's just a kid embellishing all these things that he did, and then it later comes back literally sentences later that, oh yeah, that didn't really happen. But yeah, so he was like, this is what an unreliable narrator truly is. So that was always one of my favorite topics. But I digress. I've taken the microphone so long.
I'll have to look into this. Say it one more time.
Unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
So for today's era equivalent, I use Lemony Snicket, the guy who wrote the Series of Unfortunate Events.
Very good.
Because all the books, he is writing it like he's there.
Okay.
But then towards the end of the books, he's always like, and so I continue finding evidence that the Baudelaires exist. And he's hunting these kids down to write their story, but he's saying what the story is. So that's kind of my true today's one.
The best teacher I have had would have been my Thea Emma. She was a teacher, but I knew her as my grandmother. My mother came to the United States when she was 20, and my Thea Emma basically was who took over my grandmother role. She was my grandma's sister, so same age, same aura, and she was a teacher, like I had mentioned, but the things that woman taught me was she's my guardian angel. She's definitely the best teacher I've had. I'm sure that her pupils would have had to agree, but that is the first person that came to my mind.
Love that.
Becky Van Acker. So when I was in school, she was Becky Alford. She was my high school theater instructor. I was never into sports. I did dance, I did band, I did flag corps, and I did theater, thespian, all the drama stuff. And Becky was my second mom. She was actually my mom's teacher when my mom was in school. But she was my second mom, and she just believed in me in a way that no one ever had before, and just kind of gave me permission to be who I was, and it's just never, ever left me.
Love that. I think we've all been touched by great teachers in our life.
Many others, but she, I could name off 6 or 7 others, but.
Right, but that's where I couldn't discern between mine, because 3 of those people stood out in equal contest to me because of just the attention they took. Again, being a smaller town, it's kind of, they can do that a little bit better, but no, it's just definitely something that sticks with you.
A conversation I had yesterday at the airport was, what would we do without teachers? And
we'd have idiocracy.
So the thing we need to realize is that without teachers, we are nothing.
Yeah.
I guess that's just a shout out to all the teachers.
Yeah, huge shout out.
Difference.
Huge shout out to all the teachers, and whether it's a educational teacher or a life teacher in general. So those are all very, very powerful points to make. I like that. Last question being drawn.
If you went on a volunteer vacation, who would you most like to help?
If I went on a volunteer vacation, who would I most like to help? A vacation
where you're volunteering for something.
Oh, okay. You know what?
And this is perfect.
This is one, funny enough, I've seen this organization pop up on my Facebook a couple different times. I follow them now. They're called Flights from Rohan, or Rohan, however you spell that. The gal that's in charge of it, shout outs to her. I don't never met her. I know that she's here in Omaha somewhere, but they go to this country, Rohan, and they save cats. Because over there they're a nuisance in that island, so they get rid of them on site, kind of thing. So the cats are obviously trying to hide, they're scared, they need food, they need love. That's me. I'm a sucker for cats, so I gotta help them. If I'm going across seas, that's what I'm going for, most likely.
Kittens.
Exactly. Gotta save the kitties. If not, it'd be like some sort of like ancient Greek historical dig or something like that I could be a part of. Yeah, just again, being the history nerd I am.
It'd be fun.
I, at one point in time, thought to myself, I want to be national. No, if I could spend a vacation, I would do it in my backyard. I would just stay here in Omaha. I don't want to be national. I just want to stay here and love on the people that we were asked to love on.
Fair enough.
My mom's been involved with the JCs for a really long time, which Cliff from Collective for Hope is also a JC. My mom would help with the camp in Kansas when I was a kid, where they would provide the ability for kids with developmental or physical disabilities to go and have a normal summer camp experience. And
Love that.
I'd probably just volunteer with something like that again. My mom's worked with adults and kids with developmental and physical disabilities for as long as I can remember. I did in college as well, and it's a special group of people who deserve everything.
Yes, they do. I love that, and I think that kind of actually reminded me of Outlook Enrichment. It's a blind organization or a vision impaired organization that helps them kind of, again, normalcy in life, having things that we take for granted every single day.
Yeah.
And they do a fun, special, like, summer outing. It's fishing. It's, going out on the lake. It's really fun stuff. So, yeah, I like that. That's a really good idea on that one. Now, one of these questions, I like to pose this as a fun sort of, hey, I'm coming into town. I've never been to Omaha before. What's your Mount Rushmore that I got to come check out? And this goes for both of you. You can collab on one if you'd like.
I just am proud of our kindness.
Yeah.
I don't need you to go visit something. I just need you to realize, like, you're home.
Wherever you go, you're going to encounter people who are kind and decent.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's literally what I always brag about. Even last week, they were like, so what's in Omaha? I'm like, kindness? I don't know. People still, like, hold doors for one another and genuinely care.
And ask people how they're doing.
Yeah. So, no, when you come here, you can try to go find a statue to look at, but what we have is something you won't find somewhere else.
I agree. Now, I do like that question just because I get a lot of different answers, because it could be food, it could be entertainment, it could be, hey, just come experience the people. I don't think we've had that answer on the show, so congratulations on the first unique answer of that one. Because typically I get, the zoo.
Oh, I forgot about that.
No shade thrown. No shade being thrown here.
I'm not going to say that.
We love the zoo.
Yeah, we have a great zoo.
We love the zoo.
We're proud of the zoo.
Our zoo is amazing. It is also our number one answer on the show because it's always all top of our minds.
So.
It's just something we're all proud of that we have in our back door. The next is the CWS.
Yeah.
That's the other one. It's like, hey,
Where
I
was
get that. No, you're totally good. Because I like your answer, because it is one of those that you don't have to go anywhere special. You can just go to a nice restaurant, or you can go to the mall. You're going to get the door held for you more than likely if somebody's on their way in or out.
Yeah.
You're going to experience kindness to a degree along that pathing somewhere. So, hey, do yourself a favor. Go get some delicious ice cream or something from like Ted and Wally's. That's always my go-to. I love Ted and Wally's. So
if we're doing a food pitch, I'll say square donut.
Square donut.
Have you not been there?
What?
What is a square
If you
donut?
come to Omaha, you need to go to Square Donut.
It's at 157th and Maple, just down the street from the
It's
studio.
the best
we're
donut I've
recording.
ever had in my entire life in all of the globe.
Yeah.
Any country, anything. Best donut is in Omaha, Nebraska.
The line will be out the door first thing in the morning,
and
too,
it's
so.
normally sold out by 11.
Yeah.
Our doors close at 1.
Oh, good thing I'm here at work at 7 in the morning.
Yeah. The best one is
square
the pink.
donut.
Yeah, it's the pink. I call it the Homer Simpson donut.
Oh.
It's the pink with the sprinkles.
I love that.
So good.
I'm going to have to try them because you know what? I'll be honest with you. My go-to donut in town has always been Winchell's over on like 120th and Center.
Yeah.
When I first moved over here to Omaha, that was the closest one because a Krispy Kreme's right next to it. No shade to Krispy Kreme lovers out there. Not my jam. Just not my donut. I'll put it that way.
Boy, do we have something for you at Square Donut.
Boy, I am coming to Square Donut. No, I love that.
The maple bacon one is really good too.
Maple bacon. That's going to be right up Kimberly's alley. That's right up there. Yeah, that's a good recommendation. I'm going to have to keep those in mind, especially when we do our next little company fun thing here. Snag some donuts from Square Donuts. Yeah. Shout outs to them. All right, last question here. Then I got to cut you loose for the day because I can't hold you here forever. As much fun as we're having and going back and forth. But I do like to wrap up the show asking my guests, what is something here in Omaha that you wish either more people knew about or just supported more?
I gotta say, it's another nonprofit organization that Sasha and I are both involved in. It's called Free Bikes for Kids. And so on September 27th, we are going to be collecting bikes at different Walmart locations around the city. And then over the next couple of months after that, an incredible crew of volunteers is going to clean and refurbish those bikes.
Oh, I love that.
And then we are going to provide those bikes to other youth-serving organizations in December, just in time for Christmas.
That's so cool.
Free Bikes for Kids started in 2022. I've been part of it since the very beginning. Sasha joined the board this year, and we've given away thousands of bikes, and we need all the bike donations we can get because the need is growing. And our true passion for Free Bikes for Kids is that no kid should have to go without a bike. That's such an integral part of childhood. And something that if a kid doesn't get to have, that's just really unfair.
I agree because, I mean, I think we all deserve the pain of going half a mile an hour and then... I think we all deserve... Yeah, absolutely. Because then you roll down and then you have to go chase your bike down. Yep. And growing up in the sand-hills, it's all sand.
Oh, gosh.
Good luck.
Yep.
The stretch of sidewalk. Yeah. Got some strong legs built on me. What about you? What's something here in Omaha that you wish either were more passionate about or just support more?
I would love to challenge everyone to find a nonprofit.
I love that.
I don't
There's
care
plenty
what
of them who've been on the show.
That's the thing that I want everyone to realize. There's plenty of sun for us all to get tan. Go support a nonprofit. If you want to figure out how you can make a change, find a nonprofit and serve. It is a human fundamental to be a part of a community, and amongst that community, you must serve. Yep. Your life will get exponentially better by serving.
I like that. There are plenty of nonprofits around, especially the amazing Project Intentional, which is back. I need like the whole Arnold Schwarzenegger kicks in the door like I'm back.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I'm so happy that you, first of all, honored the show with the announcement that you are back. Could not be happier. But then, Steph, thank you again for coming onto the part of the show for your half of things too, with Max's Coats for Kids, taking that pivot from what you guys have traditionally done at Max I Walker to pivoting and now helping and supporting Project Intentional on this next step of its journey. I could not be happier for my two guests today.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Of course, likewise, we appreciate you as well. Again, we've had the distinct pleasure to sit down with Steph Dorwin with Max I Walker and Sasha Berscheid, founder and president of Project Intentional. Ladies, before we let you go, is there anything else you'd like to share with us today?
Be good to each other.
I like that.
To yourself, more importantly.
Yeah.
Be good to yourself and be good to each other.
Yeah.
Or as Bill and Ted would say, be excellent to one another, as we'll always have more excellent guests on the UIA Trusted Partners podcast. We'll see you next time.